Hello and welcome to A Few Dice Short. I am your DM. I, I'm tired. What was I saying? And welcome to Adventures in Ankqorveil, session 34, I think.
Yep.
Yay, we're back.
34.
Uh, welcome. We are, if you're just joining us, why just now? I mean, we're like 3/4 the way through our campaign, man. Go back and start over.
Yep. Check out the podcast.
Great thing to listen to whenever you're at work for 2 hours overtime.
Yeah.
Sorry. Any before we start, any announcements? I don't think anything's changing this coming week.
Nope.
Just your good old regular broadcasts. I'm gonna take Sunday back off Chris and do some more Pokemon.
Enjoy.
Yep. And watch and feel free to chat with me on Monday while I play Ghostwire.
Or point and laugh, either one. I mean, sorry. Today's gonna be a short session. I've had a very long week, and it's been emotionally draining. But yeah, I'm good. We could do a short downtime session today, and by next session, the party will be arriving in the back. Which I think this requires a bit of a recap. Last session, the party had taken a ship. Strangely enough, the good girl is all the way north. And so the party has taken their ship legally
Mm-hmm.
and are sailing to the back upon order of the guard captain of Kara to research a cult as well as several other personal things we're looking into. Namely, which one slightly personal thing is possibly the murder of a father, but that's no biggie, right? And near the end of last session, with Hobbs being newly cursed again, a particular green dragon knew of their exact location and could telepathically communicate with Hobbs. He was kind enough to give them a head start. Of course, they're on a boat and he's a dragon, so he's got some advantage. The dragon attacked. The party put up a good fight trying to keep him away. Sadly, a couple of the crew members ended up dying in a burst of poison breath. Several others were injured. Even the good Captain Steed went down. He was saved through plot armor. When suddenly, as the party is fighting this dragon, something comes beneath the waves. Another dragon, bronze dragon, who proceeded to curb stomp the green dragon. And apparently, the rest of the party was not done with this green dragon. So Hobbs is polymorphed into a giant monkey. And Bonnie decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to jump in too. And those two jumped into the water to fight the green dragon while the bronze dragon was also there beating it. Their combined efforts caused the green dragon to flee, thus swearing revenge. the bronze dragon gave the crew an invite to Fridalia, which may or may not come to fruition. We'll see. But the crew, after hightailing it for about 2-3 hours now, the crew has finally started to slow down. No sign of dragon on the horizon. Night is starting to come. And day of the night is yours.
Well, I guess Vonnie would just be trying to get over the shakes of being in the water and trying to make sure Captain's all right.
Captain Steed is a bit sickly, but he's better than what he was, dead. I was dead, but I got better.
So, what should we do with the bodies? Because I don't think we should have them on the ship.
During this time, whenever the crew starts slowing down, they will take some linen wraps along with some oils and stuff to kind of temporarily preserve the bodies, taking them below deck. So it's like temporary mummification until they, since you guys aren't too far away from land at this point, they know of ways to keep the bodies fresh just long enough to give them proper burial and whatnot.
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about the dragon anymore then, right? We've scared him off for good.
I
Yeah.
doubt that's for good, but
Don't think he'll be coming to Tabax at least.
Captain Steed kind of comes to you all, still a bit green in the face. Still has a couple blisters from the breath going down, thankfully, to Bonnie's care. I really like you all. Truly. Please, never come on my ship again.
Well, I'm truly sorry. We when we last met the dragon, they said that they weren't gonna hurt us anymore as long as we left, and we left. Clearly they're just a dick. Wait, I'm sorry.
I mean, last time it was pirates, this time it's multiple dragons. And I almost died. I've had 2 crew members die. Unless you can assure me that you're not going to be chased by forces of evil again on my ship, please, for the safety of my crew, don't come on board.
I mean, what could be worse than a dragon? And if we've already handled a dragon and that dragon's never coming back,
We didn't handle the
what
dragon. I
could
think
be-
it was the other one. Then again, I was partially unconscious.
If
Well,
there's
the dra-
anything we can do to make up for it,
Well, those lads had families back home. Would you like to offer anything to those families? Very much appreciated.
of course. Vonnie's gonna look into her bag and will provide 2 moss agate stones, 2 bloodstones, and why not? And a lovely amber stone each. So I think that's a total of like 200-ish gold.
That will make them very happy.
Yeah.
That, I'm not too familiar with gyms. It looks like a lot. We'll get that's the time. Drew says, "Horizon looks good. There's a storm on the way, so be prepared to buckle down for that. But I can handle a storm. Not damn dragons. Excuse me, I'm going to go throw up."
Mhm.
Back of the
He,
ship's a good spot. I did that earlier.
he, be- he begins stumbling towards the back of the ship, towards the stern.
Please.
I know a ship term.
Yay.
Hey.
Yay.
Oh, not to brag, it's actually 210 gold each.
Oh,
I mean, so like, if the dragon is the worst thing we could ever possibly face, right?
That hunter in the woods actually messed us up real bad. Actually, I'm
Wait,
more
they
afraid of the
weren't a
hunter.
dragon. But that's fair enough, actually.
I mean,
Ah,
yeah, I'm sure there are worse things out there.
to be honest, to me they're a tie. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I kind of just cowered in fear the entire time. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I planned to balance on the mass. I just fell on my ass straight away. Or I'll do better next time.
Well, at least we know how not to do it.
I should have turned Hobbs into a whale.
What?
There's always time.
hold on. I think monkey is actually better off than whale.
No, those bristle teeth will scrub the dragon clean, and they'll like us.
Exactly.
I'll get all those hard to reach places.
Whack ya.
But yeah, Vonnie doesn't have any particular plans for tonight. She'll make
Hmm.
some potions tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
You guys want to hunker down for the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll.
Yeah. Hunker down for a night, I reckon. I'm gonna be dropping this guy's self overnight too. But
I'm going to be hiding my beans.
Wow.
Yeah, given what's happened today, he's not very. His mind isn't on the beans right now.
Good.
Do you
Yeah.
think
Just in case he
I mean,
remembers.
tomorrow might be different.
not to sound like absolutely horrendous, but do you think some 2 sailor bodies counts as soil?
Oh my god.
We are
Oh,
not planting the
oh.
beans on a
No,
moving
we're not.
vessel.
Nathan, personal question.
This is
The fuck?
Nathan.
We
Vonnie
have
would never be
soil
so
anyway.
rude.
Unless.
No, no unlesses.
I mean, what
Well,
could be
there'll be
wrong if
snow
a giant
eventually.
pyramid just kind of erupts from the ship? We
Yeah.
can't go anywhere, but
The ship would sink, but we'd all be at a pyramid at the bottom of the sea, guys.
Oh.
Any other DMs out there regretting their parties?
don't worry, I'm not gonna plant the beans whilst we're on a ship.
Mm,
Probably.
maybe. Oh.
Goodness.
No one doing anything else for the night?
Yeah, I'd say
No.
Cassius. He's tells everyone he's gonna go to bed, but he just lies awake, not trying to have nightmares of the dragon and the people turning into poison mush or whatever happened to them, decay.
Yeah, it was like super bubonic instant plague. Just their skin welting up, fumes. You could see it was burning their lungs, eyes ripping. It was a very unpleasant sight.
Yeah, probably not gonna get a good night's sleep after that.
Partway through the night, Ian, Hobbs,
Yes.
the two of you are shaken awake by Boulder, the Goliath quartermaster. Wake up.
What?
We need you up deck.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'll grab my stuff.
But do you like
Head
really
up.
need me?
Just get up. Let's go.
I will follow after Hobbs. Half asleep.
You guys awaken not only to shaking, some harsh rocking of the ship, sound of rain, thunder. As you follow behind Boulder, he himself drenched. You see a flash of purple light. The Boulder ahead of you stops. That's what we're curious about. Captain said you two are the smartest ones here. Good to figure it out. He continues leading you on to the top deck, where you are standing in the middle of what you guys know as an anchor storm.
Oh.
Oh,
Does it seem bigger or worse than the ones we've experienced already?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
I remember last time in an anchor stone. I
22.
should.
22. It seems more like it's still a pretty harsh storm, but it doesn't seem. With the previous storm you guys were in, it was like constant lightning. This seems to be a
Yeah.
little more paced out.
Okay.
So what was the issue? Why am I awake when I should be in bed and asleep?
Purple lightning's weird. We've had this
Purple
conversation
lightning's weird.
before.
It's not purple though, is it? It's blue.
It's definitely purple. I don't know why you're trying to convince the entire world that purple is not a color.
What do you mean? What even is purple?
Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, like nobody's gonna. Well, I mean, somebody might die from the storm, but like not actively unless you're seeking to. Maybe don't hang about in the crow's nest if you don't want to get hit by lightning. That might be wise. You should be fine, right?
it's an anchor storm.
Hey, what's that?
But what's essentially raw magic in a storm?
Don't do magic unless you want it to go a little bit haywire on you.
Yeah, that.
Otherwise, you're fine.
Captain's
Probably.
right. You two are nothing but trouble.
I mean, this has happened before, and we weren't in all the places anchor storms have happened before.
Oh, but
We've just
arguably
seen
we started it again.
Both of you make
we
perception
have
checks.
not seen this one. Oof. 12.
Oh, perception, sorry.
Ooh.
17.
Hmm.
Hobbs,
Oh.
uh, being a little more up on the situation than I is going to be, examining the storm. In a flash of purple light, you see a very strange shape in the cloud.
Oh,
It almost comes
like
down from the clouds and almost serpent-like, very large, sweeps back up into the clouds, almost like undulating.
that's probably not a good thing. I'll try and point it out to Ianth. Does it look like a dragon or just no wings that I can tell?
You can't really tell. It looks not cylindrical, but beefier than the dragons you've seen.
Okay.
It's got the
Big
thickness.
So it's dragon adjacent.
You can't really tell. It is dark.
It's a serpent in the sky. That's all we know.
The cloud serpent.
Hobbs, you see another
I
one
mean,
slightly further back,
who knows?
following the previous.
Oh,
And you
okay.
hear something filled the night air between blast of thunder. Both of you make a nature check.
Oh
The
god.
cloud whale? Ooh.
I got a 21.
Hobbs, you've been at sea.
Mm.
That sounds like a call of a whale.
Yeah. A whale in an anchor storm. In the sky.
Cloud whales.
Guys, I'm very confused.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Quick, turn Hobbs into a whale.
Magic
Uh,
space
Cloud
whales?
whales.
Is that what I think it was?
It definitely sounded like a whale.
I think you've cursed this trip.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Sky whales?
Ianth, is this what happens when you're cursed? It just spreads randomly?
Are cloud whales not normal?
No.
Like how certain are you that they're not normal? Have you never heard about a cloud whale? Or are you sure that cloud whales aren't normal? That sounds pretty normal.
If it was in the ocean, I would say yes, that's normal. Whales don't fly.
I mean...
You see on the horizon several more following in behind. You count a total of 5 from what you can see. And they appear larger than whales you have seen, Hobbs.
Maybe we should, like, wake somebody up about this. Oh,
We're
like,
awake.
Yeah, that's true.
We should wake up someone responsible. Hobbs like, I'm awake.
I was into it. I mean, if they're cloud whales, they're probably not sea whales, so we're probably fine, right?
Speaking of which,
What?
you see
That don't-
you see one of these massive forms break the clouds yet again, swooping down and down and down
God.
and down.
Is it yelling timber?
It crashes into the sea.
It's raining whales.
What if I go down for a swim? Do you think I'd be able to see it?
I don't. What? You're not gonna be able to keep up with the boat.
As it hits into the
That's
water,
true.
you hear more whale calls as two more follow in behind it, shooting downward.
Is this like falling stars but whales?
Make a wish.
I
It's a wishing whale.
I hope. I wish. How does one make wishes on falling whales?
However you want.
Um,
This is definitely not normal.
what if it's the new normal?
Is this what we want normal to be?
I mean, it's pretty cool.
They haven't killed anyone yet,
Yeah, I mean, we might have
as far
our
as you're aware.
ship, like, turned over because of, I don't know, sea things.
Yeah,
I know ships.
these
Um,
whales are easily the size of the ship, by the way.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So, like, if they fall
That's
anywhere near
terrifying.
us and they make a giant wave, we might just. What's it called when a ship turns over?
Capsize.
There you go.
Or if we hollow one out, we have a new ship.
Whoa!
What if-
Whoa!
Nathan,
what if-
what
Fly.
is with you today, my dude?
What if we befriend one of the whales and then just make a home on top?
Hobbs has the cloak of natureness, right? Go hug one.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but it's mostly feathers, and if he jumps in, I mean, it's gonna be all wet and soggy.
I know nothing about flying whales.
The remaining two whales following behind one another into the water. They seem to be
Which?
they seem to be following the storm.
Okay.
Magic whales. Magic sky whales?
The storm seems to be
Which-
pushing east.
Is that where we're going?
You guys are heading
So
north.
we're going north.
Okay. I totally know directions.
That way and this way.
That makes more sense, yes. I mean, this seems like not an issue, right? This is a non-issue. Sky whales.
I mean, it's definitely weird.
Did Iath make a wish
Yeah.
on the falling whales?
I did make a wish on the falling whales.
Send me the DM me the wish and roll me a D100.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let me just actually send that through because I am a little bit ashamed of this wish.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Oh.
Man, our Discord is now alight with whales.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Guys found some good good pictures.
That man, I hope you get it.
No. 65.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's a good wish.
As
Does
Questionable
Tyler
wish.
agree?
it's a wish.
Oh.
As two of you are contemplating what to do, if this is an issue or not, you guys see as one of the massive figures swims just a little south of your ship. The top of it sticking out, spewing water. And after a little bit, kind of watching them all pass by, you hear the surprised yet again as they all seem to dive down and shoot back up out of the water, undulating up into the clouds.
Definitely the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I prefer that to dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this seems like a great experience. Lovely sightseeing. You should come around these parts more often. Sure would be good for business. Not even the whole
I
dragon missing grounds.
don't think any of the crew's gonna believe this.
That's true.
Wait. He looks around. Larry, you in here? You up here? There? I saw it. Everyone believes Larry.
I'm gonna make nobody believe him.
Hey.
I mean, what?
Hey.
What?
I'm messing with people.
Well,
What am I messing with?
the storm's overreacted to magic. Think you're the only ones on board that know any.
We were sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Just saying, like, we don't have to worry, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Just, don't use magic or magic items, and
I don't think
Be
we have
fine.
any.
I mean, you've got a pot.
You do have a pot.
I'm not aware of a pot.
Oh.
Oh.
What was his
That's-
name?
The
The guy told us about a
bean
pot.
guy?
First
Yeah.
mate Miguel Bonnet.
Yeah,
The
Miguel.
bean guy.
Miguel's got a pot.
It's the Bean Daddy. Gosh, I hope someone got that
Ah.
reference.
Yeah. I feel like we could have been I mean, this was
I'm
lovely.
glad I saw it.
Whales were great. Glad to have seen it.
Listen,
Probably
I'm
didn't-
sorry for waking you up, but we were just literally attacked by a dragon a couple hours ago. And anytime you guys
no,
are on
fair
board,
enough, fair
weird
enough.
shit happens. Like, just points up,
Yeah.
points towards the whales.
Yep.
Yeah,
I get
no,
it.
fair enough, fair enough.
I understand.
Yeah. Well,
I need a drink. Head on back. Sorry for waking you.
no
Yeah,
worries.
that's
No
okay.
worries. Got to see some whales.
And you're also soaked.
It's
Yeah.
fine. I do wonder. I am going to try and turn you into a whale.
Ugh, why?
Not
me?
now. I don't have it in me
I was about to say,
today. I'm a little bit.
Go ahead, do it right now. It'll be,
Let's do it
it'll
right
be
now.
amazing.
Oh, it'd be
Just crush the
hilarious,
boat.
but I do have some spell slots left.
Do it.
You also have a
Go
ring
on.
that gives you a spell slot.
Yeah, but I can't get polymorph back with it.
I would just like to let you know, if you polymorphed him into a whale, there is a chance you would literally lose Hobbs.
Stuck as a whale forever.
A sky whale!
Sky whale.
There's also the whole, like the random chaos stuff that happens as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Might still be funny to cast some magic in an anchor storm. Should probably go to bed.
I think
Or
you
you
should
end up
go to
killing the
bed.
crew.
Yep. Yeah. Go to bed.
Just a little accident, I can't steer a sheep, so might best to be keeping some of them alive.
I also cannot steer a sheep.
Yeah.
Right. Night, Hobbs.
Good night.
Two of you dry off, get back into bed. Wondering where poor sweet Henrietta went. And was replaced with here.
I miss her already.
But guys, my hair's great.
Yeah, my hair's great.
I think we need a new code word, code phrase.
No, you don't. No. So what you're on about?
As sorry. You guys getting your long rest?
Yay, long rests.
My spell slots.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, imagine
Yay.
needing a long rest to get your resources
Ooh.
back.
Oh,
Get my luck.
look at you.
Oh, very close to a bad day.
We have a bad day. Oh. Ooh.
I wonder whether I could turn myself into a sky whale.
You could, but you'd never come back.
I could try. What would you do about me?
And if it was dropped, you'd just fall out the sky.
This is a cool way to die.
You
Did I?
sure hope you have featherfall.
Oh no, I don't. I have water breathing.
Well,
that'll
at
be
least you'll be
helpful.
able to breathe as a
Mm.
hope on the
I
ground.
have featherfall.
Hey, that's why I never
okay.
picked it up.
So it's safe to make hops of Skyro. Noted.
The storm has passed overnight. No wild magic has happened amongst the ship, as far as you can tell, at least. And no one's messaged me that they were playing around with magic during the storm, so that's also a plus.
Here.
I mean, I think my disguise would have been up overnight, but it's not casting anything, so it'll probably be fine.
So long as you cast it
magic item.
prior.
Yeah. Disguise, I think it's a constant thing, or is it? I'm not sure. The hat thing. One moment, let me check.
That
It's a weird
let you
one.
cast the spell, so it's an hour or
Sure.
something like that.
Oh,
But
on demand spell. So I'd have to.
But you
Cast before I
did
go
say
to
that you were just going to be Mahir. You said that
yeah.
you did drop the disguise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be chill. It's all good.
So no one's dead. Well,
Yay!
aside from some NPCs.
The people that were already dead are still
Yes.
dead.
The dead are still dead, so that's good. Welcome to D&D, where you have to point out the dead are actually dead.
Sometimes.
A lot of the time.
Morning comes. Things are still a bit damp. Food is being cooked. You all get your morning munchies on.
Yum.
Num, 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 num.
Great sound effects.
We're good at those.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, anything that you wish to do for the day? No, Veronica said, make some potions.
Yep.
Any other ideas that anyone's want to do?
I am.
Stretch. I'm 40 now, so I just got to keep limber,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? I got to
Yeah.
stay
He
limber.
does his sunrise yoga.
Yeah, that's what Cassius is doing.
Raise the sun.
Nice.
Whoops. Right, that happened. Maybe I should
Yeah.
do more time magic.
No, please, no. I'm
One
gonna
of
be like
these
Go ahead,
70
make him
at the end of
60.
this.
You're
One of
gonna
these
kill
times you'll
somebody.
just get younger. That's how it
That
works,
would be
right?
nice.
Spoiler alert.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Slight
don't know.
spoiler alert. It can get worse.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like aging is one of the least bad ones on there.
Not for a human.
Oh, yeah, not for a human. It's pretty bad for a human.
I mean,
but
it's
Or
just,
me. I'm basically a human. I'm just red.
Yeah.
you're a human.
I mean, honestly, it's just you still have your life to live.
I
You'll
want.
just be living it for a little bit older.
I want the last episode of the campaign for you to roll the worst one possible.
Oh my god, that'd be
Yes.
amazing.
It probably will be the worst one possible. That's how the campaign ends.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a couple worse ones possible. It depends on your perspective.
I mean,
Depends how old you are.
I'm guessing there's like a champion of a time god that comes to try and kill her.
Oh,
I'm sure
there's
that's one.
there's some bad things that can happen.
there's nothing bad on this
Uh,
table.
And every time she rolls in that table, it gets worse.
Don't worry about it.
Is that a world table? So if I have to roll, it's the same worseness.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Ianth, do you want to do research on magic stones?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You only live once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're Cassius, apparently.
Mm, that's true. I'm very good at making people live more than once.
I just realized Veronica's out in the ocean.
Veronica's swimming.
Oh no!
Oh no! You can...
I mean, to be fair, she's probably having nightmares of that magically constructed whirlpool.
Did everybody pick up their water breathing that morning?
Yeah, please.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping they
Yeah.
have.
Yes, please. After what I've seen.
I'm assuming like instead of like a morning prayer over breakfast, you just like, and please don't let us drown, blah 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 blah. Water breathing.
it's just a slap on everybody's back. It's like, okay,
Don't die, don't die.
You've got
die.
water breathing, then you've got
Die,
water
don't
breathing, then you've got water breathing.
I mean, you can die. You just can't die from this specific thing. If you do, well, that's just your own fault. At that point, it's just your own fault.
I mean, unless it was like time magic and they get aged like 100 years instantly, then I'm pretty sure we know whose fault that is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
anyways,
they're
nice
aged
stretch.
100 years, but they're not dead. You could be. You could be worked out.
I would like Cassius to make a dexterity. Make a dexterity check. Here,
Okay.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna be trying to figure out something I've been finding out recently. So every now and then I'll just hear what people seem to be thinking. And so I'm just gonna be trying to sit on that. Try and ignore it most of the time. Try and get some more songs out. But yeah, I'm gonna be sitting by myself for a little bit. And I might come out close to the middle of the day when I can start to see people again and not be scared. That, exactly. Horrifying. So yeah, I'll be taking my time to ease myself into that. But yeah, for the moment just practicing music and trying to get better. And figuring out my weird detect thoughts stuff.
Cassius?
But yeah.
Yoga is harder than you thought. Especially
Yeah.
for your sudden case of old. Sure.
It's just your physical form. It's just your physical form.
But you start to kind of loosen up a little bit. At least you feel in a pinch you'd be okay.
Yep, ready to take on the day.
Meanwhile, I need Ianth and Hobbs. How exactly are you two going to be performing some research? Like,
Oh
give me
yeah,
a general
I was
idea.
gonna talk about this. So far, Ianth, I know if I focus real hard, I can produce a spell without using my own energy. all I figured out so far.
You tried to use a spell you don't know with the stone? So, like, if you see me cast a spell and then you try and cast a spell with the stone,
We should try that. I
you
have
should
not.
try that.
What do we want to try for?
I don't know.
Something not destructive, because we're on a boat.
Fireball.
I don't have fireball. How about should it be something visual or?
Well, something we will be able to tell if it works or not.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can use Steely as a test dummy if we need to.
Or
Just
Steely.
start tolling the dead on Steely.
Okay, well, let's just. I'm going to cast Polymorph on Steely to turn him into a fleshy crocodile.
Can
Weird.
can he be changed?
There's nothing in his stat block that says otherwise.
If Polymorph can target a construct, then yeah, I guess.
He's
I mean,
immune
it's a
to charmed,
creature.
exhaustion, and poisoned. That's
Oh,
it.
okay then. I know a lot of constructs have like a mutable form, but
Yeah, not Steel Defenders, apparently.
weird. I'll allow it.
Weird.
It is weird.
So you turn him into a what exactly?
I just turned him into
A
a
regular crocodile.
non-metallic crocodile. You know.
He's a real boy.
So he's been a real boy. This time he just comes with flesh and blood instead of metal and oil.
Does this free him from like his servitude to Hobbs as well?
This whole time.
No, he would still
he's
identify
been-
Hobbs as his master and everything. He still has kind of the mind left over. It's complicated magic stuff. Don't ask questions.
Crocodile version of
What are the
Pinocchio.
stats of an actual crocodile? Do Steely stats go up or down?
I don't
I
know.
imagine-
Like,
Probably down.
It depends on the size of the croc, I guess. I don't know.
it'd be a regular crocodile, probably.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just a regular crocodile, and that's just a CR half. It has
Uh,
like 15 strength, 10 dex,
Here, let's pull up
13 con,
Steely.
10 wisdom.
Yeah, I assume it gets worse.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be funny to turn him into a.
Charisma's one less. That's to say, his int goes down a bunch.
Wait, that's not even the right thing.
He's probably got more than 12 AC though, right?
Yeah, he does.
I don't
Hey,
even
he's
know
got a
what
swim
happened yet.
speed,
Yay!
He can go for a swim, and he can hold his breath for 15 minutes.
and he's technically bigger.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't see that at first.
Gross.
Okay,
Overall weaker,
so
but
we're
bigger.
gonna try and change Steely into a different creature. Great. That's the plan today.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like you to make an Arcana check for me, Hobbs.
Okay. Du-du-du. Arcana. I got a 15. I can make it a 20. I'll make it a 20. Flash of genius.
Okay.
Ooh.
Try and turn him into a bunny.
Hold on one moment. I need to,
Okay.
I need to look at something real quick.
We're doing great. We're great at
It'll be
science.
fine.
This isn't real
What
science.
you're actually doing is teaching the creature that makes all these anchor stones new spells.
You know what?
It's gonna
It works,
come
it
back
works.
as the BBG.
Yeah,
Turns
That's,
a
the,
lot
it's gonna be
funny.
fine.
the enemy's spellbook will be our spellbook.
I forget, what size stone are you using that I mentioned?
Mine was the one from the necklace, so I do not know what size it is. No,
Okay.
just that it was from a necklace.
Interesting. So it won't be that. Give me just a second.
If you want to give it a size, I will mark that down.
Put 1K on it.
Okay.
1,000.
What
No.
about my 2 ones? Do I have 2? How many do I have? I have 2.
Yeah, you have 2. You have the original, and then you picked up another one.
And I picked one up from the
Nothing.
ground.
Steely's form does not change.
Okay.
However, concentrating, you accidentally cast a different spell.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Steely's hide shimmers with kind of a iridescent sheen to it. You have cast mage armor on him.
Oh my god.
What? Weird. Okay. So
Helping him?
Oh my
only
god.
more no work.
Interesting.
Mage armor once a day isn't too bad.
And it's also not something in your repertoire, is it?
No.
Ah, see, this is what we needed to know.
The
However, you can cast other spells.
it did not use any of your spell slots. It seemed to
Okay.
draw power directly from the stone itself.
Okay. And so that one, it's dull now.
No, there's still some power to it.
Oh.
Ooh.
The real test is to see if Captain can do it.
Yeah, that's
Free
that was
magic
the other
for
thing I was
everyone.
thinking about.
Yeah.
Just people without.
Well, we could just give it to Bonnie then, or Cassius, because they both don't have magic.
That's true. We'd have to explain magic though, because I don't.
I don't know. I think Bonnie has some
into
magic.
existence.
We could just tell him, hold this, think of this, do this, and don't explain anything further.
Nothing can
And
go
if it
wrong.
doesn't work, it doesn't work, and if it works, it works.
Just accidentally cast summon demon.
Oh god. Okay, wait. So we tried a 4th, right? Because polymorph is 4th.
Yeah,
It didn't work, but I could do a 1st.
you could try it first, yeah.
Well,
And
mage
you did
armor.
do it first, yes.
The
First,
necklace
yeah.
stone appears smaller than the that first stone that you got.
Okay.
So we could have to do a size.
Size matters for anchor stones.
It's just the density of souls inside them, you know.
Soul not
That is a good point to add on. Hobbs, when you did use the anchor stone, you do feel this like warmth wash over your body. It feels very relaxing. And then you saw like, wait a second, I can't polymorph, but I think I can do this. And you bestowed some additional defense to him.
How is Steely feeling about being a
He just
fleshy crocodile?
He just sits there, mouth kind of partially open, just like alligator hiss. Like, not like angry, just chilling.
Gotta be weird. I mean, he never had to breathe before, and now he does.
Yeah, but he's got like primal instinct brain, so it's just like, yeah, he's this is fine.
Has lizard brain.
Lizard brain.
Lizard brain.
Someone needs to give him a
Everything
good
is fine right now.
scratch.
That is a good point. He can actually kind of feel that now.
Yeah, and look,
I'm
get him
going
some
to
sugar,
give him
quick.
scritches.
He needs a sugar rush.
Give him all the scritches.
Of course, now you just gave him mage armor, so he's probably not going to feel it.
Easily fixed. I can just dispel magic that.
Wow.
Wait a
We
second.
don't need spell slots today.
Yeah, no. Why would I need spell slots when I can give the crocodile some scritches?
RP casting is far better than combat.
When has
Oh,
Abe
definitely.
ever
Far more
used her powers properly?
That's kind of true.
So you're dispelling it?
I am dispelling, or I'm trying to dispel the mage armor. Does it work?
Let me bring up the spell real quick.
If it's, I mean, dispel is if it's third or lower, it works automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's
And you're not-
fancy anchor magic.
It would be considered just standard mage armor.
Okay.
So you dispel the mage armor
Oof.
normally. Speaking of which, your dispel magic, is that one time based?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
Nice.
God.
Yes.
Have
Folks,
we?
did you like being young?
Yeah. Have we gone back
Or it
to
doesn't matter.
the still
It's fine.
tiny hit die?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a D4
Nice.
still. Unless it's suddenly a G3 and I wasn't aware.
It's a D2 now.
Right. All right.
I'm joking. It's just it's a 1 on D4. So all good.
Oh, I just wonder whether. Oh, that didn't work. I can't do magic. There we go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
One.
I wonder what does it make a D3 look like? Anyway, sorry.
Yep.
Good
fucking
question.
cute.
Best left unknown.
Oh, it's a
No.
D6 with three
Yeah,
numbers.
just halves it.
Yeah. Disgusting.
It's a
Whatever.
D6 with less steps.
What about D24? What about a
Those are
D19?
questions.
That's like a really awkward number.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yes. Oh, crocodile scritches.
Steely does seem to enjoy that. Eyes closed, head raises.
Aww.
He shows as much emotion as a crocodile has the capacity to. Especially
I
one
should
that was
turn him
formerly a
into dog
robot.
next time. I should turn him
Yeah.
into a dog next time. Or a horse.
Okay. What else can we try? I mean, because so we know we can cast spells we don't know. I can cast spells I do know.
You can attempt to meditate on the stone
Hmm.
and
I'll
Could
try
think
that.
on it.
try. You can try this different ways. You can try to peer into the stone and if I look at it hard enough, maybe I'll figure it out.
What if
Ian said that she was detecting voices. Maybe you can try to commune with it. Maybe you can just keep trying stuff and maybe something will happen.
I have an idea.
Yes.
It might go terrible again. But I
Okay.
have tongues now. And I
Yeah.
didn't get to understand them last time because I don't speak
Where
many
did you get them
languages.
from?
She's been
Not to
collecting.
ask
Did Nathan
questions.
get them for you?
Best not check. Best not check on the bodies. Anyway, I have tongues, but I
Yes.
also don't want to listen to them again.
Well, I don't know how to do mind magic, so
Maybe we should just think really hard on them.
okay.
What if I just
The other
randomly-
option is to tinker with it and see what happens.
What would you
maybe.
make out of it?
Well,
Guitar
I mean,
pick.
we can. No, I'm not gonna change it, but like we know that they used to be used to power things.
What if you powered Steely with them?
Yeah.
I say while scratching Steely. What if Steely had a bit of a makeover? What if we gave Cassius one, like, what if we replaced Cassius's eye with one of them? The jewel eye, obviously.
I
Yeah,
don't know what that would
have
do
to
to a
specify.
person.
Oh.
So, Cassius, about that Fey touched.
Yeah, I've got magic. I got a little magic.
Oh yeah, now you do. I forgot.
I got a stick.
Yeah.
And also,
And your freaky fists.
you got them freaky
Yeah.
fingers.
Okay, so let's meditate.
Let us think very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some instance
Mhm.
blocks if you really want to get into it.
Well, I have a ton of incense as well.
I can make really good calming music, you know?
But I have stuff to make.
I mean, you can use bardic inspiration on them. That is
Oh,
an
I
option
could.
bards have.
yeah.
Yeah, but that'll be useful.
What if I use Chrono Shift with an anchor
Exactly.
stone?
Nathan
Oh my
makes a point.
goodness.
Well, I mean,
Do
you
it,
can
do
try.
it, do it.
I'm
Dare
not exactly
you.
sure what you would be doing.
Turning back time with an anchor stone.
I could turn back time.
Probably.
Doo-doo.
Best not to think about it too much. We are thinking very hard on our stones.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you
That
granting
sounds
bardic
weird.
inspiration, Mahir?
I'm not sure if I'm there. Is this like in the morning?
It's just kind of like
I think
throughout
we're
the
just
day.
sitting somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I'll give him some bardic inspiration. I'll play a little tune, slow, calming acoustic guitar. Give them each some bardic inspiration.
Some lo-fi guitar to help study your stones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. We need to make that.
Study your stones.
The more you say it, the worse it sounds.
I'm trying to make it worse.
Study hard on your stones.
Vonnie's not going to have any part of
Hear your
this.
doctor listen
she'll
to
be
it right
making
before you go in
potion.
for an exam.
Can I hold both of these stones in both of my hands? Because I have 2 stones.
Yes, you do.
Which stones are you wanting to use?
Well, I have my first stone
Okay.
The
and
original.
the stone I found outside back in Cassius's house.
I have a stone, don't I? That's fine.
Yeah. Every day
I'm
I
not bringing it
live.
out.
Every day I wake up.
The one that you got from Cassius' house, that'll be a 1K. So just gonna mark 1K on it.
Okay.
And for your first one,
Mhm.
mark down 4K.
Ooh,
Okay.
it's the quality of the vision you get.
How many carats anchor stone there is?
Meditating on this, trying to think of the possibilities with the stone, with your limited supplies. Merely just holding the stones, trying to get a feel for what is going on. Ianth, Hobbs, I need you both to make me an Arcana check or religion check, either one.
Oh. You said Arcana or what?
Arcana, religion, and I'll also allow nature. Any one of those 3.
And that's with the bardic inspiration, right?
Correct.
What's the bardic inspiration again?
Is it a D8 at this point?
Oof, never mind. It doesn't matter. It's so sad.
Oh yeah, it's D8.
Okay. I'll roll a D8. And I'll use Flash of Genius. Why not?
Oh,
To give myself 29,
why am I
30,
even here?
34.
Both of you,
Oh my god.
as you're concentrating on the stones, you both hear, just like very, very faintly, in the back of your minds, sounds like singing. Very relaxing. And you have to kind of catch yourself from nodding off. Hobbs,
Yes.
where Ianth catches herself nodding off, you do not.
Okay.
You awaken, but on a beach. looking out. Various birds flying across the sunset. You even see a whale out in the distance. A normal whale. Spray on the horizon.
Specify that now.
You look around. You just see sand. Your left and right. Scenic beach. Light waves. To your back, you see beginnings of a forest. You see the moon just starting to peek over the treetops as the sun sets. And it feels like home. I'm going to send you a few things as
Okay.
you sit. You just close your eyes again, take a deep breath. You feel the sand begin to shift below you. What do you do?
Get up? Move?
As you scurry up, not sure, like you were sitting on top of a giant crab or something. You get up and you see a large mound of sand beginning to form right behind where you were sitting. As the sand begins piling and piling up to about your height, roughly, a little taller. You just begin to see details begin forming. You see elegant, elvenish clothing begin to appear. Feminine facial features. Hair. And as this form appears in the sand, the sun sets, leaving you in darkness aside from blue moonlight, enhancing the already scenic view. Just barely able to make out any of the features of this sand being. You hear in a nurturing voice, a voice you swear you've heard before, one other time. This power is yours to control now. Share it with the world, my child. A sandy hand begins to reach up from the statue and reaches towards your head, laying atop. And though it's sand, it feels more like warm skin as the hand lays upon your head. The thumb slides down in between your brow and gently presses. And you close your eyes and you see a flash of purple. You are not bestowed with all the knowledge, but you have been bestowed with some knowledge of the stones.
Okay.
That you have the ability to cast particular spells given the size of a stone. Your 1K one has the ability to cast shield, light, mage armor, and magic missile. You also have the ability to enhance yourself or equipment by adding +1 to either damage rolls or attack rolls, or being able to grant yourself the ability to turn something non-magical magical for 1 minute. The anchor stones have charges that if you are to, at the dawn of each day, the stones recharge based on their size. The 1K in particular, every dawn, it will regain 1d4 charges. And each morning as well, you have to roll a discharge. You have to roll that number or higher for it to maintain its power. And the smaller the stone, the less power it's going to be able to hold on to for a long time.
Okay.
And each stone is able to... It has the same power as the previous size stone. So like a 2K stone would have all the spells of a 1K stone, but also have a little something extra.
Okay.
And I'll share this whole chart with you guys here in a minute.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Ianth, you notice about 10 or so minutes, Hobbs is snoring.
Yeah, I mean, meditation is boring, but at least he could have... This is what we get for being woken up in the middle of the night. I'm just gonna go back to petting Steely for the next however long that remains. I could turn Steely into a whale.
Sky whale!
Sky whale! I'm not gonna wake up Hobbs because it looks like he needs to sleep.
He is sitting straight up in like he's got the stone in his hand. It looks like he's looking at it, but his eyes are closed and he is just snoring.
Yeah, maybe he's just really exhausted. Yesterday was a big thing, fought dragons, turned into a monkey. Those sky whales. It's a lot of things to happen in one day.
I'm going to go ahead and share this knowledge with just Hobbs for right now. And then as this Hobbs tells you everything, we'll skip all the details. But I'll share it with you guys.
Ooh.
But Hobbs, all you have to do is say, I share with them everything I know, and they'll get it.
Okay.
Or you can tell them only a little bit, because some people are highly irresponsible.
Yeah.
I am very
Not me.
responsible.
Man.
I don't even have anchor stones, so I can know the knowledge. It's fine.
I have shared that with you. If you go to the journal entries under rules, you'll see anchor stones.
Who in the party would benefit from mage armor? Is that both?
Me.
Yeah, Mihir and Cassius.
I have always cast mage armor in the morning. And she has to recast it.
Will my combat cloak add on to mage armor as well? Would that be a thing?
No.
No, cool. Thought I'd check. So I probably wouldn't get an advantage from it.
With... Oh, I see, yeah.
You already got 15 AC.
Yeah, you wouldn't benefit too much. But a solid 30 minutes rolls by, Hobbs. You finally awaken from your power nap. Ianth, are you there? Or have you just gone off to do something else?
I probably would have continued to pet Steely even after he turned back to metal.
Okay.
Because I feel bad.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yes, there's a lot.
Hey, it might be useful for our upcoming
It can also
journey.
be very useful for an artificer.
Yeah, I
Wow.
I just saw the stuff at the bottom, and I was like, oh, there's a lot in here.
How long have you
Oh.
had this?
How long have I had these rules written?
Yeah.
I've actually had these rules written for like 3 years.
Yeah.
I introduced
Beautiful.
these in a home game that was playing in the same world. They had just gotten their first Anchor Stone, and not long after, the game kind of eroded, mostly thanks to COVID, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got one really neat one.
I wonder what quality the big boy is.
Oh, many
Oh,
K.
many
Many K.
Yeah, not every K is going to be listed
Special
on the
K.
chart.
Yeah,
Just the more standard ones you guys can find.
yeah.
Where is the chart again? Sorry, I can't find it.
It's just
You
for
can't see it.
me.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just
you-
for
Until Hobbs
Yeah.
awakens and actually lets you guys know.
yeah.
Fair.
As of right
I
now,
have-
the
I have a-
mysteries are all for one.
I have a question for DM.
Yes.
The being, would that have been Melora?
You believe so.
Okay, that's what I figured. I was just checking.
It through statues and the voice, it very much represents her.
Yeah. Okay. I figured that I'd heard it once before, and I was like, yeah, that's probably who this is.
Oh, wait a minute. We're back on track with Destiny if the gods are back involved.
Oh
Lonnie's
no.
happy again.
You don't know this.
True.
But Bonnie can feel a peace in the force.
Exactly. Vonnie's destiny sensor went off.
Bing bing. Oh.
So I wake up. It's been a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I just realized I did not put all
Ah.
these years where it's supposed to be.
What?
You might notice that some of the prices suddenly drop. But don't worry about it. All good,
Okay.
all good.
That's all good. All
Okay.
good, all good. Oh.
So that was interesting.
If you didn't have a long rest, that would count as a long rest, but you already had one.
Nice. 2 long rests. Does that mean I have to roll again?
Well, that means you would have at least a short rest. And
Sure.
any of your uses for like Flash of Genius and stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm gonna ask Hobbs if he's okay, but Hobbs is gonna hear this in his head.
Oh God. Not you
Not
two.
Oh, Chris.
One of you should be the left shoulder, one of you the right shoulder.
Oh my
We're
god.
both-
I
shit.
think
We're
they're
both the
both
devil.
right shoulders. Left shoulder, whatever one the bad one is.
We're gonna lead you down
Damn,
the
here's
path that
right.
rocks.
Oh god, I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
You okay, Hobbs?
Yes. I feel well rested.
Bonnie will probably have some food ready and hand you a bowl.
Oh, thanks. And I learned a bunch of stuff. It'll
What do you learn?
probably take a little while to figure it all out, but stones have a lot more power to them than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go over like the basics of the spells and stuff like that.
Okay.
You're saying a lot of words, and I assume those words I should know what they mean.
Like which
what,
words?
What is a mage armor?
Oh, it's
It's
Yeah,
just
good
something
question.
I
I was
cast
gonna-
every single day.
yeah. It's like armor but made of magic.
Because there is a lot.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I think shield I recognize. I can do that with the sand. So the stones make sand.
No, I have a feeling this is more a direct representation of magic, not a like the sand spell that your
Right. Well,
staff casts.
yeah.
And definitely not like my magic. More, I guess, more like Ianth than anything else, minus the time stuff.
So you guys
Oh,
now
what,
have that journal entry. As Hobbs takes about 3 minutes to an hour to kind of explain what he knows.
3 minutes to an hour.
30. Yeah, I think it was Melora that was there.
Oh, really?
I've only heard her voice
Ah.
once before, but I think that was who it was.
Meanwhile, how's Cassius Yoga going?
It's going good. I'd say by now I got like a group of sailors around me, and I'm like, so what did I miss out on in my 30s? What are some things you guys would recommend doing? Just travel more. Okay.
I recommend visiting a doctor every couple months.
Yep.
Luckily, Captain Steed offers great health care.
Yeah. Okay. Doctors. God, yeah. All right. I'll
You
check
got it.
one out soon.
Have any children?
Maybe. That's a long story, actually. I'm not gonna get too into that.
Don't we all? I miss my son.
Oh yeah. I think I had a son.
Mine's
Maybe.
in prison. Tax evasion.
That's a harmless crime, at least.
There was also the assault.
I'm sure it was deserved. Maybe. I'm gonna go talk to my friends now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just get up and find the rest of them.
Okay. You come in partially through their conversation about the Anchorstone, so you get enough to understand what's going on.
Perfect.
So as I said,
Yeah,
you go to journal
if
entries, rules folder. You guys will see Anchorstones there, and you guys can.
yeah, I'm looking at it. If you're
Ooh.
explaining this to Vonnie really isn't going to get.
That's fine.
Just have Hobbs do it for.
Yeah. I mean, we only have 3, so that Hobbs is aware of.
Only got 3. Quick
Yeah.
question: how many K would my Anchorstone be? DM. DM.
You got that from the paperweight, right?
Yeah, I got it from the
It
paperweight.
would just be 1K.
Oh, nice little cute 1K one. Cool.
So
Yeah,
with the
we've only got 3 paper.
disappearing,
Not paper. Interesting.
with the disappearing over time, were you meaning like at the every dusk you roll, and if it's below that number?
Oh no, I got to reread that rule. It's been a while since I.
But yeah, no, this all looks very interesting. It's like a pill of power with extra steps.
very true.
Is that you can use a reaction to increase? As a bonus action or reaction, you can do a physical boost, giving either +1 damage.
Unless you're using the
Avoid.
4K, and then you can just give yourself a magic weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know,
And
cast spells.
the numbers beside them, that is how many anchor points in that third column that it uses.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
I could totally turn Hobbs into a whale right now.
Why? Why do you want to?
Do it. Hey.
Because I've been wanting to turn you into a whale for so long.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted to turn you into a whale when we got on the ship.
If you'd have done it while he was asleep, would he have slept as a whale?
Maybe.
What happens if you try and polymorph something that doesn't have enough space? That's the question.
Oh, there's actually a
You
rule
wanna
for that, I
test them?
think.
I don't think there's a rule. I don't know.
There's a rule in my head.
Because
Yeah.
I have a feeling the whale would break the boat.
There's
Yeah.
The polymorph
I
would
could
work,
throw you.
but you would not want it to work.
I think there's similar rules for like if a druid turns into a spider and takes a nap in like a tiny crack, like
Yeah,
will they
like
turn
that
back
kind
to
of thing.
normal? Yeah, I don't know if there's exact rules for it, but I'm sure Tyler has many
Oh, it's
ideas.
something similar, like to do with force damage and stuff and changing form. I swear somewhere I've seen it. Somewhere. Maybe not polymorph or stuff like
Well,
that.
for like teleport and stuff, you would if you teleport into the space of another creature, you both take like a certain amount of force damage, and you're shunted to like a random.
I think it's like
square next to it.
5d6 or 10d6, a bit like the d6.
Well, a lot of d6.
Unless you cast Kinetic Jaunt, which has a specific amount that you take when you're in somebody else's space.
Well, damage.
It has like 1d8 force
spells,
damage.
Yeah, not good enough.
Not good enough. You're gonna choose a spell?
Oh no! For the spell, it's fine, but for polymorph kind of thing, that's different.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
Anyways,
Okay.
as you guys have learned a lot about anchor stones,
Yeah.
anything else you guys wish to do for this day? Would you like to throw rocks at each other?
I want to touch my anchor stone.
I want to throw Mischief into the
private.
water and turn him into a whale.
I
was gonna say,
touch the anchor stone.
So we know that we have Ianth has 2 and Hobbs has 1. Should Ianth give 1 to me here so that the 3 spellcasters can do magic?
Yep.
Why are you being so cagey, Mahir?
Yeah, I think an anchor stone would be really cool.
Well, I like to point out the anchor stones can be used by anyone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not just they can turn your
Ronnie is scared.
Did you like
magic.
Bunny? I
No.
think like no.
I've got my stick and it moves sand, and I can understand that. I'm not too confident about all this other stuff.
Oi, Cassius.
Although, actually, Hobbs, do you
an anchor stone?
I wouldn't say no.
You gotta take it, guys.
I'm gonna go up to the crow's nest. Bye.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Hobbs, you said you spoke to Well, do you think I could maybe meditate with the stone as well? See if I can speak to maybe Paylor.
I mean, you could try. I didn't speak to her. She spoke to me. But sure.
I mean, Ianth's granddad was all about destiny and stuff. I reckon it's worth a shot.
Yeah. You can try and do it. Have you touched an anchor stone before?
I turned on mine and Ianth's stick, yeah.
But like you have had one in your hands.
I don't think so, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
be careful when you grab this.
Now that you mention it,
I'm ready.
Rock, as you hold out your hands, Hobbs places the stone in your hand. A bit of shock goes over your body as you're prepared for what's happened to the others. but you just feel warmth.
Oh.
Hmm.
Wait, this is nice.
It feels there's a bit of static to it. Like you feel like your hands, not numb, but it's like you're touching one of those electro ball things.
Mm.
It has a little bit of warm static buildup.
And graphs.
Okay, I'll give this right back to you, Obs. I'm just gonna and Bonnie sits down and crosses her legs.
Go ahead and make me a religion check.
Ooh, a religion check.
Because you are trying to communicate with Paylor. I mean, you could try a nature check if you want to, but I'm imagining religion's probably better
No,
for
it's
you.
good. I'm proficient. I'm just not very smart.
Flash of genius, you.
Oh, well, 16 plus 3 plus 5 is 24.
Oh, damn.
As you meditate on the stone, you begin to understand what Hops is saying about the stones. It's still a bit confusing to you, but I think you understand how to use them now. It's a lot like your stick, but instead of stick, it's stone. And both can be used to break bone.
Nice.
But sadly, you didn't meet the mark for contacting a deity.
Darn.
But you do feel a guidance.
A guidance. Okay.
As stone's mysteries are unveiled to you. Like, yeah, I could probably figure out how to use this. I mean, I like my stick, but stone work.
Yeah, I think that's a positive experience for Vonnie. She'll probably take the gift of this knowledge being implanted into her brain as a sign that we're on the right tracks. And she'll give the stone back as and when.
Yeah, Cassius's stone, the 1K one.
Ooh, I haven't had any interaction with these yet either, so
Yeah, you guys.
I will.
All your stones are 1K except for the 1 4K. That was the starting stone.
Yeah, I'm keeping that one.
Of course you are.
I am, because free polymorph. Am I
The
ever
stone
gonna
was
use
my.
free polymorph? Maybe.
Huh.
Maybe.
So this stone was my father's. Interesting.
Oh, well, no, I found
Well,
it
it was in
outside
your
of your
yard.
house.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it might have just been a random pebble.
It does seem like it was just a random rock.
Yeah. We
But
didn't
it is from
put
your
any
house.
in there, I think.
Well then, thank you, and yeah, I'll take it, but I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm not trying to reach out to any gods, or I'm just
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I'll hold on to it though.
I had a good experience. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
No,
not all gods
that
are
was quite
good.
peaceful. If
I'm just worried. I'm not even supposed to be like on this plane.
I mean,
I don't know.
you did come from the same plane, just from
Yeah,
different.
Timeline.
yeah.
It's not really a line.
Yeah,
Though,
but it happens all the time.
Times.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying I'm not the only one.
I've probably done this before.
Well, you're the only
We'll do
one,
it
but
again.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I'll hold
You
on
never
to
know.
it. I might mess around with it in the future.
And you guys were saying a storm made these stones.
Well,
The purple one.
not. I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, it made more of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't there for when, you know,
Because
things
you were
happened.
in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were in jail.
As a good D&D adventurer is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm just a bit
No.
worried, you know, with all the tension rising between the Empire and whatnot, whether these stones might cause more havoc.
Oh, there's probably been plenty of them that have been found. It's just a matter of whether anybody knows what to do with them. They'll figure it out.
I mean, we didn't know until just now.
I guess
They are
something to
really
keep an
pretty,
eye
though.
on then. Vonnie will finish handing out food or whatever, and we'll probably share with the captain what she's learned.
Okay. Talking to Steed. So you're telling Steed about the stone? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. He is very confused, but at the same time, you see a spark of curiosity and wonder. Can I try?
Oh well, you're gonna have to ask them. I don't really want to have a stone per se. You can try with my stick if you want to do magic.
I have a better idea. He yells out, "Oh, Miguel!" And a few minutes later, tumbling from a rope, landing firmly on his feet, is his first mate. You called, Captain. Yes, you want to try some magic? Hell yeah. He tells them about the stone. And first mate Miguel will wander up to, who does he see first?
Running away. With my stone.
Ianth.
No.
Excuse me, Miss Ianth.
Sorry, gotta go feed my cat. Bye!
I need to talk to you for a moment. He begins picking up pace. To talk to you about a couple things.
I will polymorph myself into a giant eagle.
Oh no. That's a bad idea.
Okay, well, you polymorph into a giant eagle. Hopefully
And I will
above
fly
deck.
up. Yep. I will fly up and away. To the crow's nest.
You're polymorphed into a crow.
Yeah, but I was thinking big and scary. And
He does
giant
get a bit
eagles are
startled by the
scary.
fact that you just randomly turn into a giant eagle. But seeing as you just fly over the top of the crow's nest, just kind of snaps his finger. Ah, shit. And he'll go off to the next one. Let's see here. Mahir, you're close by.
Tag with magic.
You're a dwarf, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mahir, a friend. Trying to talk to Ianth about this, but she seemed to turn into a bird.
Oh, she does that. Ignore her. She's yeah. Well, what's up?
Well, I was going to ask her about the beans. I
Oh,
still
the
can't find them.
beans.
Pretty sure I gave it to her last, and, filling with a pot. But
Ah.
the captain was mentioning something about some magical stones, and I've always wanted to try a bit of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe a dwarven comrade could,
Yeah.
try it out?
Yeah. Let's go.
Go where?
I don't know where the stone is.
You taking them to Hobbs, or what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and come this way, and I'll take him to a room which has nobody in the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like,
This poor guy.
Murder him.
yeah. Gonna take out no.
Please. Then I can keep the beans.
I'm gonna say, don't tell anyone I have this.
My lips
And
are
I'm gonna
sealed.
pull out. Good. I'm gonna pull out my tiny anchor stone, and I'm gonna say, brace yourself, because it can hit hard. I'm gonna put it in his hand. if his hands are out.
He holds it. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Now,
what do I do?
So, I've only really just learned about, and I haven't really taught magic to anyone before. But I guess, like, close your eyes. I usually like to think of a song or something. Maybe try something that's quite bright, quite light, shining, torches maybe. Think of that kind of thing and focus on an object. Focus on this cleaver, and I'll put Mr. Cleaver in his other hand if he has that out.
Okay.
And try and focus on that and try and make it glow. See if that works.
He'll take hold of the dagger, close his eyes, take a deep breath, and he'll begin humming Whaler Man.
Nice.
After a moment, the stone kind of lights up slightly, and you see that the weapon gets kind of a purple sheen along the edge.
Ooh.
He has just given it +1 damage rolls temporarily.
Ooh, nice.
Did I do it? Oh, something.
You did something. Not quite what I was thinking of, but you managed to do it. So, you did magic. Congrats.
Well, I think I did this. He grabs some nearby rope, and he just taps the blade to it, and like butter, it just cuts the rope. It's a thick-ass rope. Just cuts it cleanly. Ooh. Hands you the stone and blade back.
Thank you. Mr. Cleaver's special to me.
So for the next minute, you have a empowered Mr. Cleaver. It's not +1. It's only +1 of the damage.
Oh, yeah. Let's use it. No, just kidding. And anything else you need, Mikhail?
If you can talk to Ith about the beans, that'd be very much appreciated. Because I feel like if I try talking to her again, she's just going to turn into a giant bird again.
Yeah, or a mammoth or something like that. You know. Something horrific.
I'm not quite sure what that is, but okay.
Oh, it's like a big, hairy, massive horse.
Yeah, let's not turn into that on the ship.
Yeah, no, it's a bad idea. But hey, I am full of those. I never get a bad idea.
Well, thank you, kinsman. He goes in, gives you a hug, beats you on the back.
Oh,
I must return to my duties. You return to enjoying the ride.
Thanks. Have a good shift.
You guys have a good shit. I'm working on that one.
Yeah, I can tell.
But he has used 1 charge of the Anchor Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And with his interest rate, damn, he's going to be paying that off forever.
First Mate Miguel goes above deck again and returns to his post. Anyone else doing anything else? How's the crow's nest?
No, I assume while Hobbs was napping, I was trying to make a potion.
Yes, you would have. By this time, you would have your potions done. You said you had 2 left, right?
Yeah.
Well, and mark them down. You got them. Cassius, you doing anything?
Nothing of important. Probably just like alone, spinning the anchor stone like a Beyblade, or I don't know, just playing with it, looking at it.
Fantasy
want to go on a
Beyblades.
joyride. These guys just want to go on a joyride.
No.
Safety is not guaranteed, but you do have motor breathing.
Good, excellent. Should anything happen?
Should I have accidentally drop you?
Hobbs, you doing anything?
I don't think so. Contemplating if I can teach Steely how to use an anchor stone.
Well, you think you
God.
might be able to install one on him and like kind of preset it?
Nice.
Uh,
I might work on that at some point.
okay. I mean, if you want to start now, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Which stone would you like to use? Well, 1K stone, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's the only one I have.
And what would you like to enchant him with?
Do I give him range or a shield? Or increase his damage? What do I do? I want to try and give him magic missiles.
Okay. It'll take a while for you to actually go through with this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead and make me a Tinker Tools check, followed by an Arcana check.
Okay. Where are my Tinker Tools?
Over there.
Oh, there they are.
See, I told you. 22 from a 10, so not bad.
You might as well throw in the extra +5
And
as
a
well.
21. And I'll throw a 5 in one of those.
Sure, why not?
Flash of genius. 22 and 26.
So so far so good. We'll come back to that later. Iath and the Crow's Nest, what are you doing? Bird stuff?
I am going to have a quick flight around the ship.
Okay.
And try my best to avoid Miguel.
You do see
I'm going to
Miguel
be-
just staying on top of the deck. He's currently steering. And every time that he kind of comes into his line of sight, he'll just stare at you. You gotta come down sometime.
I should have said I was married. Good. I will. You know what? I might as well just get stuck in the crow's nest for as long as possible.
And during that time, an anchor storm shows up now.
Anytime. Just waiting for another dragon.
As you guys
Oh, boy.
enjoy a nice, calm day. Hobbs, by the end of it,
Yes.
you believe you have outfitted Steely with a magic missile.
Nice. So
Oh my
excited.
God.
That's pretty awesome, yeah.
You can use it, how many times? You can use it twice a day.
Okay. I'm guessing that'll just use. I mean, it's magic missile, so it doesn't use anything. Never mind. We're good.
It's just a twice a day action.
Yeah. Okay.
Night will come. So if anyone needs long rest, anything happening during the night,
I'll check on the captain's injuries, make sure he's all good. But
yeah, he's
nothing
still healing
more.
nicely. He's still got some welts, but they are very quickly receding. Still gets nauseated every now and then, but throwing up helps.
Yeah, I'll give him some belly pats.
His sister starts kicking his leg. Um,
Yeah, nothing from me.
Iantha, are you coming down from the crow's nest?
No. No.
Oh wow.
Okay, the crow's nest is not very comfortable, so you'll get a short rest at most.
Just fine.
Wow.
As partway through the night, you feel a tug at your sleeve as one of the sailors is like, sure you don't want to go to a bed?
All good here.
I need to be up here for a moment.
Oh. Right, well, I'll just, how long do you need?
About 5-10 minutes.
Great, I will just go down on the ropes and you just get me when you're done.
Oh, all right. And a very awkward shifting around each other.
Great. I am not gonna go on the deck. I am sticking to the ropes until that space is free.
Okay. As Hobbs, anything from you? Gonna have Steely test out his magic missile on a fish or something.
Ooh. If he can see a fish, yes.
We'll say you see a fish. Why not?
Okay. Okay. I'll point it out to him, and I'll be like, "Okay, this is what you've got to do," and then he'll shoot 3 magic missiles at a fish.
How does he shoot?
Like a cannon.
Just opens his mouth.
Opens his mouth.
A little magic.
Makes a weird noise, and magic missiles shoot out.
Love it.
Oh, it worked.
Great. I got to figure out how to put this on his sheet because he's not allowed to cast spells, apparently.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Okay. Good boy, Steely.
And in his robot blank mind, he's thinking, if only I could feel.
Oh my god. Oh.
Aside from that, Cassius, anything? Want to steal from the captain again, or?
Yeah, I had a thought. I'll watching his alligator Hadouken, as Nathan said in the chat. I'll go up to Hobbs and well, as you built Steely, and I'm like holding the anchor stone in my hand. Do you think you could like, I don't know, forge this stone into my gauntlets, maybe?
I could try. Yeah.
Be a possibility.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you want to achieve by doing this?
Well, one of the rules is just plus damage, and so I would just
Okay.
use that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can try it.
Nice.
And that damage bonus is permanent to it.
Okay, sweet.
So it's not something that you have to activate or anything. It's just there.
Okay.
So
And I guess
it's too late in the day for him to actually work on it.
Yeah, and just whenever he's got the downtime, no rush. Just a thought I had.
You guys take your long rest. The next day, you guys have a little more time before you guys make landfall. Hobbs, are you going to work on the gauntlets? Are you going to ignore him? I would.
No, yeah, no. I'll work on the gauntlets.
Okay. Go and make me another Tinker's. Well, or that kind. A Smith's tools check along with Arcana check.
Okay. So Smith's. I don't have Smith's tools on me.
Don't
You can just make them, right?
Yeah.
Don't you have a tool that can be any tool?
Yes. My all-purpose
That's
tool
awesome.
can be any tool. So yes, I will do that first. And then
Sorry,
roll
Cassius.
that.
Can't edit your gauntlets. Don't have the tools for it.
Oh,
I've literally seen you spawn saws in your hand.
Will that be int or something else for me? What do you want me to use?
Just yes, intelligence.
D20. Okay.
It's not a very difficult piece.
Yeah. Cool. So 19. And my Arcana. Oh, 11 plus all Flash of Genius, my Arcana.
Oh my god.
So you're not going to be done with this right now.
So 19 and 16.
So about anyone else doing anything as
Wait,
Captain
I need to
announces
roll
that
this.
the
There we go.
that you guys will be making landfall today. Is there anything else that you guys wish to do?
I'm gonna try and find Iam. Try and persuade her to give the beans back.
I'm hiding.
Ianth in the crow's nest, you are very sore.
That is
You do
fine.
not have a good night.
That is okay.
Oh dear.
I'm also assuming you didn't have dinner or breakfast.
She's very hungry.
That's true. I don't have any rations.
You
on
have a
me
point of
either.
exhaustion.
That's fine.
Oh my god.
I mean, we ate food like last night at least.
She didn't.
No,
Yeah, I didn't go down.
Nope.
I brought out the food when Hobbs was waking up.
Oh,
But that was
have
like
we been-
mid day.
yeah,
that was
midday.
afternoon.
Yeah,
Have we been using my fancy food, by the way? Because I have
No.
my fancy food. No. I have fancy food. I have like loads of fancy food.
It's probably gone off.
I mean, go for it. I've
I mean,
only got a
here
few
would have been
more.
eating it every now and then. Got like 25 portions of fancy food. Like cakes and all sorts. Like loads.
Ooh.
I've got some
Okay.
pocket salt that had a dead guy on it. If that
Yeah.
flavor it up.
Gross.
Spice up
Oh
the
my
salt with some dead food.
Dead dudes. Oh, yum yum yum.
Extra flavor.
Hints of decay.
This is my new perfume.
So eventually, Ianth, unless you having a worse time today, you're gonna have to come down eventually. I mean,
Eventually. Yeah.
When the ship docks, she runs away.
when it docks, you just get an eagle flying over the
How
land.
did you know?
Yeah.
How did you know?
it's almost like we know you at this point.
Oh, yeah. Almost as if.
Almost. At some point, I'm gonna have to get down.
But meanwhile, here you're approached by Miguel again.
Yeah.
Were you able to talk to her at all?
So I haven't been able to find her. I'm sorry.
Well, I saw her land on the crow's nest a couple times. And one of the
Should
soldiers
we go up
said,
there now?
Sure, why not? He leads the
let's
way.
go.
One of the sailors
Yeah.
said she was sleeping up there last night, so I've seen her come down.
Yeah. Let's go up. Should we go up from opposite sides?
Well, there's only one side, really. I mean, you could try the other
is there?
side, but it's very... There's no point.
Oh, that's all good.
Two of you climb the mast.
Can I hear them coming up?
What's your passive perception?
My passive is not very good, but it's a 14. It's a 14, actually.
Not
14.
very good. Get over.
Let me check Miguel here for a second.
Also, how high up is the crow's nest?
Pretty high up.
Is it like 20 feet?
No more.
Probably more than that. Probably closer to 30.
While all this
clear.
is going
Patient.
down, Vonnie's just going to be making some nice treats.
Okay, so Miguel is not very quiet.
Oh wait, I have Misty Step, right.
Is there a second crow's nest? You just keep bouncing between the two.
There's only the one for this ship.
Ah.
Okay.
As
So it's more than 20 feet, right?
yes,
Okay. Is it 30 feet?
yes. I'll say that.
30 feet up?
Yes.
Okay, so I will Misty Step 30 feet down.
Of course.
Of course.
I
So
you're
that's a
awake.
3.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna go run and hide in
Well,
my
I have
room.
a here. Make a stealth check.
With disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage.
So that's a 10. Sorry,
Cool.
it's a 10.
Oof.
Let me see here.
My passive is 13. I don't know.
Yeah, Miguel's is 11. So between the two of you, you would see a puff of smoke, and then you see Ian very sluggishly trying to power walk down below deck.
Well, at least she's not up in the crow's nest anymore. I'll start going down the ladder, is it?
Yeah, it's a ladder.
Yeah, I'll start going down the ladder.
Miguel
And
does
I'm
not wait
guessing
for no ladder.
Miguel.
He will grab the rope, grab rope nearby, and hoist himself down.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going down the ladder.
Miguel's used to it though.
Yeah.
I have to hear a thud above deck.
I'm running. I'm running into my room.
Wow. Wow.
He will stop at the first person he sees. Hobbs, Bonnie, and Cassius. If you three can roll me a D10.
Sure.
D10,
I'll probably
yep.
be making some treats at this point with my chef's feet.
7.
9.
I'm getting there. One sec. I got confused. Nearly rolled 3 of them.
5.
Cassius, lucky you.
Who's standing with me? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Working on his gauntlets. So it makes sense.
Excuse me, Hobbs. Hobbs Cassius. Could I have a little help? I mean, Mahira's trying to help, but I guess she's also avoiding him as well.
Of course, Hobbs, I'll let you keep at it. What do you need help with?
Well, yesterday, gave Ian a, I guess it was the day before yesterday. It was when we first started our journey. I had Ian inspect some magic items that we had on board, and I think she may still have my magic beans. And
Beans?
yes, a little bag of beans.
I
How
could help you
how
look.
much are they worth to you? Because she's probably not going to give them up.
Yeah, but they're mine.
Would you take money for them? Is the question I'm asking you.
Listen, could you just do me a favor and just ask her if she can give them back? I very much appreciate it.
Of course, I'll try. I'll go speak with her.
Thank you, I appreciate it. He's gonna kind of walk off, grumbling a little bit.
Has it been enough time for me to get to my room, and has it been, like 10 minutes?
Maybe 5.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, would have I okay. Would have I had enough time to move some furniture around to block my door?
Make an athletics check, because you are tired.
Oh,
If you wait
boy.
long enough, you can water breathe on
Athletics
yourself and then swim back to
is-
shore.
That's a 7.
Ooh.
A 7. You have a table nearby and just slide that in front of the door. That's all you
That's
got in
good
you.
enough.
You just lay
That's
down.
good enough.
Just lay down in your hammock.
And no, I will not lay down. I will put that table
Oh,
there,
okay.
and I will be casting Tiny Hut.
Or
Wow.
okay.
It's the ritual cast, so it's gonna take a while. So the door's hopefully gonna.
Cassius, are you going to
Okay.
go investigate the situation?
You hear a knock on the door. Somebody came to
I'm
me
going
about
to
some.
bed.
Okay, real fast though. Beans?
Nope.
No?
No.
Beans.
Got any beans?
Tell them I don't know anything about no beans.
Just it Miguel was pretty adamant that you might have had them, you don't?
Probably downstairs somewhere next to the dead bodies.
Oh.
Probably.
And I like move the handle and I feel a little weight there from the table. Yep. I'll just I'll tell him to go check by. Is everything okay in there?
Check the storage, double check the storage, double check that it hasn't accidentally fallen out because of, dragons, and then check the bodies to see whether any of the bodies have them. I don't have them.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
And then
Guys, I think
you
I
just
just
hear
shit.
Yeah.
you
No
just
way.
hear footsteps walking away. I guess I'll go look for Miguel.
He's easy enough to find. He's usually steering the ship.
I went to her room. It was locked, but I was able to speak with her through the door. She said, check storage, check.
I have been keeping those beans on my person ever since I got on the ship. Until I gave them to her.
Oh, she mentioned during the fight, I don't know. She said maybe I don't even know. It just seems like in bad taste to check the bodies, but
Why would they
yeah,
be
she
on
said
the
it might be
bodies?
down there. Look, I don't know. Maybe she.
He leans on the wheel for a moment, looks to you, straight in your eye. What do you think?
I think there's a reason the door is probably locked, but I don't know. This is, to be honest, the first I've heard about these beans.
Well, you're the crafty, sneaky one, aren't you? Just between me and you, if you can get those beans back for me, I'll give you a bean or two. You guys like magic stuff, don't you? Clearly.
I mean, yes.
Don't have much money on me right now. I can give you a bean or two, and I'll give you some pocket change.
What do these magic beans do?
She wasn't very clear, but apparently you can plant them and then all sorts of craziness can happen.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate that. And remember, just between me and you.
Of course. Yep, I'll go below deck and
But before you,
I will.
but before you walk away, he does reach out his hand for a handshake.
Oh, of course. I give him a little handshake.
That's all I got on me at the moment. He just hands you 2 gold coins for right now.
Thank you, Miguel. Yes, I gave him a nod. I'll see what I can do about these beans.
Okay. So you head below deck.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm a terrible person. I don't go to Ian's room. I spend the rest of the time hiding from Miguel.
Thank God, Cassius. Those beans are out.
I would like to cast Locate Creature.
Okay.
I'm gonna chant a little song, which goes a little like, where is I? Where could I have been? If possible.
I thought there was a locate person, locate creature.
Oh, is that different? Oh, yeah, different. Never mind. No, I won't do that. That's tragic.
Oh, hold on. No, locate creature's
No,
right.
it's just locate creature.
Oh, you can.
I think I was thinking of the whole person spell.
Oh, okay, cool. So I can use it online. So I'm gonna cast that to try and find out where Iron Fizz.
She's in her room.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna knock on the door. Iron, you in there?
I'm trying to sleep.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm coming in.
No.
Right, you gotta give the beans back.
What beans?
The beans you still have.
I don't know what beans you're talking about.
Can I insight check that?
You have to.
Yes.
Oh, roll insight. I make a
I
deception.
don't believe you.
My boy just wants
We're
the
gonna
beans.
need to start. We're gonna need to start making posters
Oh my
like whose side are you
God.
on?
Are you serious?
Fuck's sake.
Such a good liar.
Honestly.
But here, there's like an ounce of distrust there, but at the same time, she sounds genuine.
He asked me out, and
Oh.
I said maybe, and then I decided that I didn't want to. So now I'm hiding from him.
Yeah. Okay. He seems very adamant about beans, though. It's a weird thing to fixate on.
Eyes alight red.
Okay.
Beans.
Beans.
Maybe he needs to spend some time and realize that the beans don't exist. I don't know. Maybe you should talk it out with him. But I'm planning to sleep and pretending that whatever happened never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you need me, I'll be in my room for the next 8 hours.
Cool.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
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 Great. You let me know when we're ready to leave. And potentially, if you could give him a chat about how I don't know where his beans are, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Maybe tell him that I lied and that I am engaged. There you go. If you tell him that, maybe he'll leave me alone, and I can leave myself alone, and I will continue to not know what these beans are.
Okay.
Great.
You'll hear footsteps going away.
Or Miguel, he just wants his damn beans.
What beans? No, this is obviously about. This is obviously about something else.
I'm gonna try and find Miguel now, though.
Poor
Miguel's gonna
Miguel.
hire all of us individually to get these beans back. If we all bargain for a bean each and then we all do it together, do we get 4? We just get the bag of beans back.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I tried to buy them from him, and he said no.
Oh, you guys are awful. It's just beans.
It was too much effort to push the door open. It was just like,
There's now
I'm
a
not
tiny
even
hut
gonna
there
bother.
too.
I was gonna say, I assume
Extra layer
you've
of
not even let
protection.
us see into it or walk into it.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed. You weren't there when I cast it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bubble of safety.
We'll find like a hole in your floor that you've escaped from.
I'll just make a hole in the side of the ship.
Oh,
Yeet.
actually, I have a foolproof plan.
Oh, God.
Foolproof.
Foolproof plan.
Fireball.
You'll disguise yourself as Ianth and give them some regular beans.
Oh my god, no, it wasn't that. I was just going to ritually cast Detect Magic.
Ah.
Oh, that's also a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's
you
also a
believed
thing.
me.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to Miguel first.
Well, you can still look around for the
Yeah.
beans and find you by
But
accident.
the beans don't
Yeah.
exist.
No, I'll talk to Miguel first.
My boy just wants his beans.
Tough luck, buddy.
I'll put my hand on Miguel's shoulder. Sorry, buddy. She's engaged.
He looks slightly disappointed, but then like, okay, but what about my beans?
Oops. Well, she seems pretty adamant that she doesn't have them, and/or they don't exist. Don't know what to tell you, bud. Seem pretty honest, I guess.
Fine, fine. Well, thanks for asking. Maybe Cassius can get him.
Yep,
Mm.
definitely
Cassius is
working
pretty
on
good at that
that.
kind of stuff.
Extremely reliable.
If Cassius lies and says he can't find the beans, would that be lying with advantage, considering that Mahir told him that I have told him that she doesn't know where the beans are?
Who was with you? Was it me and Hobbs that were
Yeah.
with you when you pocketed the
Yeah.
beans?
Yeah, so there's only 2 of us that actually know that she has them.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And I don't know whether any of you actually are certain that I have them because the dragon came.
We were with you,
Yeah.
and we knew that you were assessing them, and then you
Yeah.
explained what they were, and then the
And
dragon
then we talked
happened.
about the rope with Vonnie.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
and Miguel
Hobbs
ran
went
away
with you.
with the pot,
The
pot,
plot.
and you never gave him back the beans. Like, Hobbs knows this.
I mean, the man's giving out gold. I assume he's not fibbing. But I'm busy making treats.
That's true. That's true. You're very busy.
I'm out of fish fingers. Love it.
That was a child screaming.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very sudden.
Welcome to
Epic
summer.
scream for you, Anna.
It's internal screaming.
We've
Just
gone
leaks out
being
every
with
now and
power.
then.
Well, time continues forward.
Yes.
Beans go unfound.
Beans.
But eventually, from the crow's nest, you hear, "Longbow!" You guys see other ships along the sea splattered. It's dotting little fisher ships, little merchant vessels. And you see on the horizon a very faint silhouette of a city. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Of today's session. Whatever your time zone is.
Did I finish his gauntlets?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Good.
Good session, you guys.
Yeah, good session.
We'll deal with the beans issue later.
No, we're not. We're not. I have a plan. It's it's a plan.
It's
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna not be allowed back on that ship.
Oh,
we already
definitely
aren't.
not. Yeah.
already they said no. You guys are all just a curse.
This works out, you know. This works out.
Just wants his magic beans back. This is one thing.
He's not gonna get him back. He can have his plant pot.
Ridiculous. Cruel.
I just want to try those beans and not allow him to have any opportunity at them.
Oh, this poor guy. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And hopefully this coming week will be a little more normal. Come in tomorrow for Nathan's Pokemon Nuzlocke.
Pokemon! Yeah, Nuzlocke
Yeah.
in. We're going to do the 4th gym, and we currently have a Sandstorm team, which is not something I've tried before.
I think it's fitting for going to the backs.
Yeah, and also, if this run dies, that's when I'm going to give away the shiny Corvsquire at this point. So feel free to pop in, and you can roll the dice to see if you're the lucky person.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, I look forward to that, and I'm assuming the continuation, unless unfortunate events happen with that session.
Yeah.
But until next time, again, thank you for coming. Stay tuned for next week when the party's actually into backs. Be great. Great.
Woo!
Yay.
And you guys just found someone to raid.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go raid Dice Breakers D&D.
Yay.
Yay.